I'm joined now by Steve Black, one of the tournament directors here at the 2016 WRT Rocky.
Hi, Laura. How you doing?
Great. How's it going, Steve, so far? Been a busy morning?
Been a busy morning, like the last few mornings, but we're getting these quarterfinal matches off and running, so we're excited.
Rodrigo Montoya starting off serving, and as I was saying earlier, coming off of his current championship last weekend at the Pleasanton Open. David Bobby Horn, number 3 on the tour right now. For a great first quarterfinal of the day.
Yeah, this is an amazing match. Everyone's been looking forward to this one, so first match of the day, and it's going to be a good one.
Montoya had started off strong with 2 points. Opportunity to answer back. And first point for Horn.
That's an unbelievable serve right there.
We saw some amazing serves from him last weekend. He's a really strong drive server. I think the only person who he would be right up there with is Alex Cardona, who we'll be seeing at the 1 o'clock match, the number 1. So Steve, you care to make a guess on who you think's going to take it? We've been surveying the crowd, right? Getting their guess on it.
Yeah, we've been doing a guess the score contest for these pro matches where our spectators can. Wow. Sorry, I get distracted by that awesome rally.
Sucked right into it.
We've been doing a guess the score contest where everybody here can predict who they think is going to win, and if they get the score exactly right, they win a gearbox racket.
Pretty awesome.
This match just has the feel of something a little deeper than a quarterfinal. Oh, nice crack there.
That's going to tie it up. I think you're right. I think you're right, Steve. This doesn't look like a quarterfinal. This looks like we're further along in the tournament. It's nice to see that kind of competition so early in the rounds.
Yeah, they're both off to a great start, hitting the ball well. And it's definitely going to be a great match.
And we do play 2 serves on the WRT. It gives servers an opportunity to stay aggressive on that first serve.
Great down the line. I've never been able to play racquetball with a hat on.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing. We saw Horn last week. He rocked that hat all through the tournament. And I feel like he's taken that from his outdoor. He was just in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And he's been keeping that look so far.
Yeah, it works for him.
Seems to be.
Just a flat kill shot right there.
Rodrigo Montoya, originally from Chihuahua, Mexico, one of the best juniors out of Mexico. He's the current 18 and under junior world champion, which will change very shortly. The junior worlds are coming up later in November. It's nice to have him.
Nice reflexes by Bobby.
Rodrigo Montoya had to beat Andre Parilla to be the 18 and under junior world champion in our quarterfinals coming up after this.
Wow, that is just tough. We're getting a lot of flat rollouts right out of the gate here.
It's all 4.
Oh, he got it. Oh.
Just really owning center court on that rally.
Yeah, he's got amazing reflexes up there. Really good with his hands up in the front court.
Wow.
That one was a little too close to the front, a little too fast.
Yeah.
Not even Bobby could get that one.
Still tied 4-4.
Oh. Bobby's looking for a court hinder here, I think.
Yeah, there's a cable there along the side. Yeah, court hinder, right? Yes, court hinder. That's going to be a court hinder. Bobby just looking to confirm that. There is a wire on the court, so that'll be a replay.
And there are a few wires on this court.
There are some wires out there.
Amazing technology with the cameras now, and really makes it a lot more fun to watch if you're watching it on TV
I hope the
or
folks
streaming.
at home are enjoying it. Give you that experience like you're right here. Point for Rodrigo Montoya. Something interesting I love as we travel around to different courts everywhere, and here we are at the Rocky Mountain Open, but that side glass wall always adds another element. There's a black carpeting, there's a green wall behind the side glass.
And then you've got lots of people dressed in different colored clothes.
Right, so it adds a whole nother element for these pros to get used to. You gotta follow that gearbox black ball all over that side glass. Montoya with 2 points in a row. He's such a calm player. There's not too much emotion. You don't see him get mad or smile too often.
No.
Very mature for 20 years old, I feel.
Well, you know, we've got people here who have never seen this level of racquetball before, and when they see Montoya, they all say the same thing. They say he just looks like he's just having a good time in there, really relaxed and very calm.
Yeah, it would be interesting to talk to him about how he stays so calm out there. Where did he learn such a zen kind of attitude?
It's a rare miss. Bobby stays pretty composed as well. They both seem like they got great heads on their shoulders.
Skip from Montoya. Yeah, I think Bobby can get pretty fired up. One of the things that's interesting when watching Bobby is how he really adapts very well to the other players. So if he knows he can get under their skin, if he knows he has to play it cool, he'll play it cool. Amazing rally. Some great gets from both players. That was fast.
What a rally. And it's like 6-6, and it feels like the match has been going quite a while. These guys are really playing well. Nice pass.
Yeah, both these players have seen their fair share of tiebreakers and coming from behind, so I think we're in for quite a treat to open up the Rocky Mountain Open.
I think you're absolutely right. Sure feels that way. Hinder.
Yeah, they ran into each other in the center.
Just a tiny bit short.
Good thing you got that second serve.
Yeah.
Seven serving 6.
Wow.
Tell us more about that wow, Steve.
Well, it's just another rollout after another flat rollout. These guys came right out of the gate playing a really, really high level. Not a lot of skips.
Yeah, like you said, not a lot of mistakes, not a lot of skips so far. Each point has been really hard earned on some great shots.
Another one.
7-8. Bobby ties it up. 8-8.
You know, sometimes you'll watch a highly anticipated match like this, and you know, people come out a little tight, you know, and try to get into the match, but they were both ready right out of the gate. So what do we got? 7-6, 7-7,
8-8, all tied up.
8-8, all tied up.
down the line from Montoya, really making Bobby move across that back court. And it's tough because both of these players are so well conditioned. They're both very fast. They're both very scrappy.
Yeah, you have to hit the right shot at exactly the right time to get it by these guys and put it down, because they can get to anything and they can hit just about any shot they want.
It's nice to have that control. Puts Montoya in the lead now by 2. It's 10 serving 8. This will be a tough one to call. I'd be really curious to see what the outcome of this quarterfinal is.
Well,
I'm not ready to make to make any bets.
Oh, I don't think any bet would be a safe bet. I know before the match started, Bobby was looking around at some of the predicted scorecards just to get an idea of who everyone in the crowd thought was going to win. I think he even submitted a card himself for his own match.
Going for a fresh racket at the event. Well,
why not?
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. We're back at the 2016 WRT Rocky Mountain Open. Bobby Horn calling that timeout as Rodrigo Montoya takes the lead 11-8. This is only the first quarterfinal of the day. Coming up right after this, we have Andre Perea versus Christian Longoria, both players from San Luis Potosi. That should be an interesting matchup. Our third quarterfinal of the day is Jaime Martel versus Jose Daniel Ugalde. And we'll end the quarterfinals today with Alex Cardona versus Gerardo Franco. And of course, as we do with the event, we'll be live streaming the semifinals at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Sunday, we'll have the finals at 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. Not only will we have the singles final, but we'll also have the doubles. I'm Laura McCormick with WRT. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. And Steve Black, one of the tournament directors and organizers, is joining me on the microphone. And it's great to have Steve's perspective, being local here to Utah. And you've played a lot at these courts. This has been your club for most of your life, is that right?
Well, yeah, back in the 80s, racquetball was a little different. Now we grew up playing here, and this is just a great facility. All the players have really enjoyed playing here. They've got great amenities and great courts, and it's just a great place to have a WRT event. We hope we have more.
Well, that timeout went as Bobby wanted. He had his opportunity there to score, but Rodrigo able to side him out.
Yep, and that shot right there, you know, the front court pinch shot, he had to roll that flat out. He had other options. He could have gone down the line or cross court to pass Bobby, but Bobby was right there, and if he wouldn't have rolled that flat out, Bobby would have got it for sure. Another great front pinch shot from Rodrigo. He's got his corner pinch shots dialed in right now. Short serve, second serve. Replay on that one.
So how come that wasn't just a replay? What makes that a penalty hinder?
Well, he has to give his opponent a direct shot into the court, and I don't know if did they call a penalty. I thought that was That one. They're gonna replay that one as well. No.
So there's some talk of whether it was a screen or 2 bounces.
I think what this could end up being is a replay. I didn't see 2 bounces there, but.
That was 1 bounce. 1 bounce.
Bobby obviously does not agree with that call. Not sure I agree with it either. That is just a perfect pass right there. Just the perfect angle. Didn't come off the back, and looks like Bobby's going to take a timeout.
Probably a good timeout for Bobby. It is game point now for Rodrigo Montoya. We'll be back in just a moment to see if Montoya can close it out. We're going to get the players back out on the court. Bobby Horn calling that timeout as Rodrigo Montoya now with his first game point.
Well, we'll see if Rodrigo can close it out here.
It's so tough. Like, I feel like I don't even know what to say, because even if Montoya does close this out, game 2 can be completely different. Bobby Horn can come back and win it. Like, there's no prediction possible here. Anything can happen between these two.
Oh, looks like he caught a little bit of Montoya on that shot, so we'll have a replay here.
Building the anticipation.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, just because someone wins the first game doesn't guarantee anything.
I feel like a dominant player, as sometimes we see in the quarters.
Great pinch shot in front left court.
Just like that, the power kind of changes hands when Bobby steps back into the service box.
See if Bobby can go on a run now. Wow. That was a great shot from the deep back court.
We've seen Montoya at a couple WRT events. We saw him last weekend in Pleasanton, where he did come and win the event, and we're happy to have him back here keeping the guys on their toes at the Rocky Mountain Open. We
were a little nervous. He had some school commitments, but we were able to figure out a way to, I hope he didn't have to miss too many classes, but we're glad he's here.
Yeah, I think he got lucky. He was talking about how he was able to take the exams that he had to, and when he goes back, he's going to have to take more exams. So at least he's staying on target. It's nice to see that a lot of these players have school at the forefront of their responsibilities and their priorities, as well as racquetball. David Bobby Horn just graduated from California State University in the East Bay with his bachelor's in education, and he minored in Spanish. And he just moved out to Colorado with his girlfriend, Carla Munoz. She got a scholarship to play racquetball at the University of Colorado.
Well, it looks like that's the first game.
Montoya wins 15-8. Steve, any final thoughts before we take a quick break?
Well, I just think we're going to be in for more of the same in the second game. They're going to be ready to go, and it could go either way, so we're...
All right, we'll be right back with game 2, so don't go anywhere. We're back at the 2016 Rocky Mountain Open in our first quarterfinal of the day. Rodrigo Montoya winning game 1, 15-8. Bobby Horn keeping himself pumped up on the sidelines, coming back out for game 2. We saw a really competitive game 1. little too nervous to call anything, but it's been a really fun first game of our first quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's been exciting. It's been everything we thought it was going to be, and we had it was neck and neck right up through about halfway through the match. There were a couple calls that Bobby might have stumbled on a little bit, but he's right there, and he's poised to tie this match up with the second game.
Steve, tell us a little bit about the sponsors. We have Vivint, Smart Home, and the Trainer's Edge. Those two are two of the main sponsors who are out there on the court stickers. Tell us a little bit about both of those companies.
Well, a lot of people probably have heard of Vivint. Vivint is one of the largest home security, home automation companies in the world, and they can secure your home with home security and home automation technology, such as cameras and door locks and other home automation technology. See who's at your front door now, right from your cell phone with doorbell cameras and things like that.
Yeah, Rodrigo Montoya maybe not as aware of the urgency behind us getting game 2 started. It's game 2. Anything can happen on the WRT. Coming up after this, we have Andre Padilla and Christian Longoria. Then our third quarter features Jaime Martel and Jose Daniel Ugalde. And we'll finish the quarterfinals with Alex Cardona versus Gerardo Franco. Oh, and they just broke the ball. All right, so pull it off there.
1 minute timeouts, 2 minutes between.
Bringing that ball back in. Don't forget to join us later tonight at the semifinals at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. We'll also be live streaming that this evening. And you can follow the draw at bit.ly/WRT SLC draw. We are in Salt Lake City.
All right, here we go. Rodrigo draws first blood with the first point of the second game. Oh, he caught the crack right there. No cable on that one to force a replay. Just a hair short right there. It's just it takes a lot of power to hit that kind of shot. He was as deep as you can be in the court and just rolled it out.
A lot of power for a young player, 20 years old, Rodrigo Montoya. Gets it away. Some great gets from Rodrigo Montoya.
That is just a very high level of difficulty play right there by Bobby. Rodrigo made a nice get, diving into the backcourt. Bobby ran right up to the top and short hopped the ball and rolled it right out in the corner.
Well, he made it look very easy.
Made it look easy, but that is not easy.
Don't get it confused. Don't try that at home. Second serve.
Got another crack.
Now, you were talking about how powerful Rodrigo Montoya is. He's also very resilient. He suffered a couple knee injuries. We saw it once last December. He's had 2 surgeries on his meniscus. The second was just last December. He was out for about 6 months.
Finally, Bobby gets one to go his way on the sidewall crack.
He had a big windup for that swing too. He was licking his chops on that one.
Well, anyone who's dealt with knee injuries and meniscus, that is a very irritating thing to deal with, and those surgeries, especially at a young age like that.
That's right. The first time he injured his knee, he was out of racquetball for almost 1 year. So a bit of a faster recovery the second time. I guess he knew a little bit more what to expect, but just resilient. I mean, he runs around on that court like it's no problem.
Yeah, you'd never know. He doesn't favor it. He doesn't. Oh,
Nice
that was a great
serve.
drive serve right into the corner. The ball got stuck in the corner. Nothing Bobby could do there.
3 serving 0.
Well, Bobby needs to get a side out right here and get up in the box and get some points and on the board in this second game. There it is.
There it is.
That's what he needed.
Bobby is no stranger to injury either. About 5 years ago, he had some problems with his labrum, and he had surgery on it. But
Wow, that is just a great serve and re-kill by Bobby. He hit a wide angle serve that jammed Rodrigo, and then a great reverse pinch. Wow, great down the line shot by Bobby. Bobby's got some momentum now. 2 serving 3.
it's just what he wants.
Bobby's playing some really smart racquetball. His shot selection is really paying off for him.
That was a hard hit.
That was a hard hit and perfectly placed cross-court pass.
You guys are getting some nice crisp audio at home with the court mics right on side. Make you feel like you're right alongside the pros.
Oh, now that's an unbelievable return by Bobby. You can hardly serve a better serve than Rodrigo just served, and Bobby found a way to get it back and roll it out. Just another great crack cross-court pass by Rodrigo. You know, those hit the crack like that sometimes, but they have to be perfectly placed to be able to be there, and he's got some great passes that are catching the side walls that are paying off for him. Bobby, side out for Bobby. That's what you get for diving. Sometimes, sometimes, you know, you get paid off just for making dives like that, and that one paid off for Bobby. Bobby's doing a great job of mixing up his serves. He's hitting different angles at Rodrigo, and I think it's helping him get into more rallies here.
Skipping a point for Horn, 4-3. Horn now in the lead in game 2. That's tough. Ref says he saw 2 bounces.
You know, I think I'd be afraid to call 2 bounces on either one of these guys. They get to everything.
You gotta have a no fear attitude if you're the ref. Bobby not happy with that. Bobby Horn, 27 years old, out of Stockton, California. There's a great racquetball program out of Stockton. We had a lot of representation of the 209 last weekend in Pleasanton, so shout out to the Stockton boys, who I'm sure are supporting Bobby Horn right now and watching at home.
Yeah, well, it's a great racquetball community they have out there. Bobby's representing.
He is.
Skip ball.
Puts Montoya now up, or sorry, tied up 4-4.
Well, we're kind of where we were in the first game. It stayed close for a little while, and they're neck and neck.
Another great return from Horn.
Yep, great down the line. He hit it exactly where Rodrigo couldn't get a racket on it.
It's interesting to see because Montoya's serve gives a lot of players trouble, but Horn has been doing a really nice job of adapting to that, as you pointed out a few points ago, and he's stayed really consistent with it.
Yeah, I haven't seen him hit the same serve twice for a while. He's mixing it up really well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
amazing. Incredible rally. Wow.
That was an unbelievable rally.
That was insane.
Rodrigo was down and out on the court and looked back and somehow got a racket on the ball to flick it back up to the front and ended up hitting another great pinch shot to win the rally. Amazing rally.
Amazing. I can't wait to watch that one again later.
The crowd here is kind of stunned what they just saw. It's amazing basketball, amazing athleticism. Still 4-4. Great serve.
Point for Montoya, puts him in the lead now by 1.
And it actually looks like they're starting to sweat now.
You know, those courts are pretty warm, I have to say. I was out there setting up a cable and I thought, how are these guys playing out here?
Sometimes these guys look so smooth and they're so calm. They don't look like they're
Yeah.
struggling at all.
You
So
forget how hard they're working.
Oh. What a great shot by Bobby.
Oh, I like that. That was, I don't even know what to say. He left me speechless on that, but that was fun to watch. It came right back to Montoya, who was just really waiting there in the center court.
Yeah, he's got his pinch shots are his bread and butter.
They are.
He's just deadly up there.
Likes that corner.
Back to that shot by Bobby. Sometimes when the ball's coming up to the front wall, you don't have a lot of choices because, you know, it's right there in front. You can either blast it or you can do what Bobby did, fake it, and then try to just dink it into the court, and Bobby did it perfectly.
Yeah, that was such a nice fake.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of times you start to feel that pressure when you're up in the front court, and you could. And Bobby executed it perfectly.
Just barely missed that one.
But again, we were talking about how these players, their attitudes on the court, right? Montoya is very cool and collected, and Bobby does a really great job of playing to the same level and the same attitude that his competition is. And I feel like he could have gotten angry on that point, but he kept it together, talked to himself a little bit, and let's see what he does on the.
Well, it can be hard to keep your composure, and usually when you lose your composure, it doesn't end well.
Right.
Great get.
Right
Great
down
pass,
the line.
right down the line by Montoya. You know, one of the things people say when they see a match like this and they haven't seen this level of play is the athleticism is just off the charts.
Oh, absolutely.
These guys are so athletic.
Train hard, they move so easily.
Yeah. Got to be an amazing athlete to play racquetball at this level.
A lot of people ask when we come to these events if I play racquetball, and I get a sense of false confidence because I watch so much pro racquetball. When I get out there, I think I can totally do this, and they make it look so easy, but they are working hard, and they.
Great down the line by Bobby. Crowd's getting into it, trying to root Bobby on. Another great shot by Bobby.
Gives him a point. Keeping it really competitive in game 2.
Looks like Bobby has switched to a Z serve, and it's working for him.
This is only our first quarterfinal of the
Yeah.
day. Coming up after this, another good match. Andre Padilla and Christian, two players from Southern Vacancy. Ooh, between the legs for a point
Wow.
from Horn.
The crowd appreciating that shot.
Yeah, they had a nice front row seat. He was running right towards them.
Off the back wall between the legs and flat rolled it out. And that was the perfect place for Montoya to hit that shot.
Yeah, he had Bobby kind of wait over there on the left side and
took advantage of it and rolled it out in the open court.
6 serving 7.
Well, here we are again. This feels like the first game.
It does.
Oh, Bobby got jammed. Ball came out right at him, and it's hard enough playing against that sidewall glass, but when the ball's coming at you 160 miles an hour and comes out at a weird angle, it makes it a lot harder.
A little bit. And it's right there where the glass meets the glass. Like you said, that's tough. Finding that gearbox black ball.
I think the referee is doing jumping jacks, trying to get them to stop play.
He's like, don't waste that energy. We're going to have to redo it.
A little short on that one. We might be evened up now on the crack shots on the side wall. I got a feeling Bobby's going to make a run here. Oh, that is a pretty shot. That is a shoulder high, deep in the backcourt splat shot, which requires a lot of power. Skip.
Yep, ref calls the skip too. There's another point for Horn.
Yep. Horn is trying to make his run now.
Yeah, I feel like he's starting to build point after point. Wow.
Tough break
Nice
for
rally.
Montoya.
Yeah, Horn really reading and anticipating and working hard to get that good positioning. He was able to go any direction.
Great shot by Bobby. Montoya thought he was going back to that front left corner, and he just passed him right down the right side. It's a perfect shot.
Montoya taking a timeout, and it's like Bobby has an earpiece in there. He can hear you telling him to go on a run. We'll be right back and see if Horn can continue his run in game 2. We're back in game 2. And we're just talking about some of the sponsors here that make this event possible. Steve, can you tell us more about the sponsors who have made it possible to bring the WRT to Salt Lake City?
Absolutely. You know, we mentioned Vivint Smart Home, the home security, home automation company. The Trainer's Edge is a vitamin and supplement company where you can get any, hundreds of brand name vitamins and supplements. We've also got doTERRA, which is a company here in Utah. It is a network marketing company that has a lot of great personal care products. A lot of other sponsors that have helped make this event possible. The sponsors really are everything. That's where it all starts. You've got to get sponsors to help, and we've got a lot of great support to put.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without the sponsors. We're very grateful to have them out here, and for your support as well, Steve, of course, putting this event together, bringing the WRT to Salt Lake City for the first time.
Yeah, it's been we've never done this before, and my partner Andrew Gale and I, we've worked hard to get this event here, and we're just happy everyone's having a great time. Another great
Wow.
rally.
Long rally, and they're going to replay it.
Yeah, it was getting tight throughout that rally, and that last play definitely required a replay.
And you were talking about bringing the WRT out here, so I didn't want to leave you hanging because everyone has had such a great time. There's been outstanding hospitality here from the Rocky Mountain Open, everyone putting it together. You guys taking us out to a Utah Jazz game on Wednesday night. That was outstanding. The players have had an amazing experience so far, so we thank you for your support. And for
well, we have our first broken ball.
there it is. Yeah, I guess technically the second. They broke the first one right before we started game 2.
Oh,
Montoya,
warming up? Oh, at the end of the
Montoya
first game.
warmed it up and broke it.
Okay. Well, that sounds about right. 1 broken ball per game.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have another added factor out here, the altitude. We are in Salt Lake City. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that affects the players?
Well,
Or the ball,
you know,
or the court?
no one's probably used to playing at this altitude, and it makes the ball travel faster. And so a lot of people, when they come here, that's the reaction is that, wow, the ball really travels fast in the court, and it's just because we're kind of high up here in the mountains, similar to maybe Denver or maybe Colorado, but I think it looks like they're getting used to it and doing just fine.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned Colorado, and Bobby Horn just moved out to Colorado, and he's been training now at a different altitude. He's talked with that is. And I would imagine that gives you as a pro, and I believe that San Luis Potosí in Mexico also has a high altitude where a bunch of our players come from.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, but I'm going to throw that out there for right now. Our next 2 quarterfinalists, for example, Andre Padilla and Christian Longoria, are from there. They have a great training facility out there that we've had a couple events at too.
I've heard about that facility. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, if you come out to San Luis, you will be greeted with many racquetball courts. They have about 12 racquetball courts out there, and that's where the Junior World Championships will be held in the next 2 weeks.
Well, it's great to see sport continuing to grow. We all know racquetball was really big in the 70s and 80s, but I feel like it's making a comeback.
Score is 11, serving 8. Bobby Horn still in.
Yeah, and Bob really needs to capitalize. Rodrigo had a clean setup and unfortunately skipped the ball.
Montoya doing a great job of moving around the court and picking up a lot of balls as Horn is really just owning that center court, and I think it shows his confidence right now as he's up by 4 points. We're
going to have another replay on that one. You know, Bobby's really kept his composure well and stayed in the game, and he needs to capitalize on all that hard work and win this second game.
Ref calls a good shot.
Ref called a good shot.
Players are going to agree to replay.
Well, that's good sportsmanship right there.
That's what we like to see, that the ref sees a skip.
They weren't sure, and the players have decided to play it over. That is a great shot. Off the back wall, Bobby just took that ball and rolled it flat out.
13-8.
I'm telling you, I think Bobby's mixing up his serves and has really kept Rodrigo off balance.
Wow, oh my gosh. What a way to end game 2.
Bobby's on a roll.
He is on a roll. He's ready to roll that momentum right into game 3 as we get ready for the tiebreaker. Anything can happen on the WRT. We'll be right back with more. We're back in our first quarterfinal of the 2016 WRT Rocky Mountain Open. We have our referee, Brandon Gould, who is going to do a bit of a coin toss. It looks like he's going to do something special. He's like, can I do whatever I want? And then he walked out on the court. So we'll see what he's going to do for this.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Are they lagging for it? I don't know here.
Oh, I think they're serving and trying to hit the line.
Yep. So when they lag, the closest one to hit the middle red line, looks like Bobby got it.
Bobby Horn starts out serving. I haven't seen something like that to determine the server, but all right.
Well,
giving us something new.
That's typically how every recreational match starts.
Okay. Joe Napodi keeping our crowd pumped up, as anything can happen. It's first to 11.
Well, it couldn't be more deadlocked. 15-8 to Rodrigo, and the second game 15-8 to Bobby. And this has been a great way to start these quarterfinals.
Absolutely.
And the first point goes to Bobby. He's continuing with those Z serves. And when he started those Z serves and those different angled serves, is where he started turning things around. What a shot by Rodrigo.
And what a reaction from Horn as that ball took a funny bounce off the glass. He had great positioning in the center and then has to dive to the back.
I didn't see two bounces. I think that's what Bobby's suggesting. I didn't see that, but I did see a couple amazing gets. Dives into the back wall, and finally Rodrigo did a reverse pinch shot into the right corner. Put the ball away.
We've seen some amazing racquetball already this morning with this quarterfinal between David Bobby Horn and Rodrigo Montoya. Coming up right after this, we have Andre Padilla versus Christian Longoria. Then our third quarterfinal of the day is Jaime Martel versus Jose Daniel Ugalde. And rounding out the quarterfinals, as usual, Alex Cardona in our last quarterfinal versus the young Gerardo Franco. So we do have three players from San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Andre Padilla, Christian Longoria, and Gerardo Franco. We have a player from Ecuador, Jose Daniel Ugalde. Two players from Chihuahua, Mexico, Jaime Martel and Rodrigo Montoya. One American, David Bobby Horn, and Alex Cardona from Juarez, Mexico.
All right. Great shot by Rodrigo. Had a setup off the back wall and just rolled it flat out down the line.
1-1. And replay, but I feel like the mic cut out there. They didn't hear it for a second.
Yeah.
So we
it's good to know the referee can yell if we need it. We can.
All right, so replay. It's still 1-1.
Incredible rally, and I don't even know if I can repeat what I saw. I've never seen that in my life, what I just saw Rodrigo do
Yeah.
right there.
I don't even know what to call it, but there's.
I can't remember even how he hit it. That was the
I swear
most
there was a wrist flick in there. That was
amazing get. Unbelievable.
We're gonna have to look at that later and get that cut out. As you said, Steve, some incredible athleticism that I hope is translating to those folks who aren't here live in person, because everyone here is quite impressed with watching these two.
Well, and that's why I'm so excited about the technology with the in-court cameras. You know, people need to be able to see the unbelievable athleticism that these athletes have, and that rally right there, you know, being able to see and appreciate what Rodrigo just did in that rally, that was just amazing. Spot on the court.
A little bit of a momentum change as Rodrigo now in the lead by 2, 3 serving 1. He got 2 points in a row.
You know, sometimes a rally like that, where you win a big rally, you know, you never know how that's going to affect the momentum of the match, and it looks like that's Rodrigo's trying to take advantage of that right now.
And it is warm out there on the courts.
Yep.
These guys are working hard, so they're leaving a lot out there.
Setup for Bobby, and Bobby did what you need to do with setups.
Capitalized on it and sent it right down the line. Such a tight quarterfinal to open up our day. I mean, it's
like,
just such an exciting start.
Like we said at the beginning, this feels like a semifinal or even a final.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really tough shot. That's basically a type of short hop, and he just splatted the short hop right up into the left corner. That's off the charts in terms of difficulty level of a shot right there. Made it look really easy. Bobby's reflexes are so good. Just re-killed that ball, made it look really easy.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch Bobby as he was a kind of number 3. And I was just thinking, I think one of the differences that's changed for Bobby, a lot of these players are in school. Bobby recently graduated, and now he's 100% dedicated to his professional career as an athlete. And it's tough when you're balancing school as well. So now he's totally focused on racquetball.
Well, it is tough because, you know, in most individual sports, you have a lot of professional players are a lot of cases kids. They're 17 years old, 18 years old, you know, and it gets to the point where if you're 25, you're a little bit over the hill.
Right.
You know, so it is tough juggling school and all the other things you have going on when you're going to school, but you also happen to be one of the best racquetball players in the world.
I much like Rodrigo Montoya, who's studying to be an engineer. He's in engineering school right now, and like you said, that's what kept him going back home in between our last tournament and this tournament, but he was able to work it out and come out to Salt Lake City where he has to run back to school and take the test.
That's another hinder. Well, these guys have both showed great sportsmanship throughout the match. They've replayed a couple points. They call their own skips, and they both fiercely want to win.
Yeah, we love to see that. That's a big thing. That is part of the mission values of the WRT is fair play and good sportsmanship, because we want to keep it fair and fun for everyone, including the players, the spectators, and the mothers.
Great shot by Montoya. He had to stretch for it, but he was able to get a racket on it and put it away.
He's had some great stretches so far in Game 3. Score is still 3-1 in Game 3. The winner of this match will move on to the semifinals later tonight at 5 p.m. playing the winner of our next quarterfinal, Andre Padilla and Christian Longoria. Bobby keeps it alive.
Great put away by Bobby. You know, a lot of people ask me where the ball's going to go, because how could you? You know, it's going so fast, and you know, it's just you're in there long enough, and you start kind of becomes an instinct, you know. By the way someone hits it, or even how it sounds, where it's going to go.
Yeah, through my studying of racquetball in the last 2.5 years, I've found that the sound is a really key part of racquetball. Not just, you know, the blazing speed at which the ball is passing by you, but how it sounds when it skips, or when the ball breaks, or what it cracks off of.
Absolutely.
Times Bobby's been the recipient of a Rodrigo ball to the back.
Yeah, and that's got to sting.
Yeah, Bobby plays it off like, no, it's just another thing a pro has to consider.
Ball skipped. I think everyone can see that ball skipped.
Point for Horn.
Yeah, and that's just about the exact spot it did skip, where Bobby pointed it out right up there on the court.
The first point we've seen in a couple rallies. 2 serving 3.
Just smart shots by Bobby. Down the lines, cross court, just smart shot making by Bobby.
There's so much more racquetball to come today.
The winner of this gets to play again tonight.
That's right. And pretty much everyone's playing doubles. So there's lots more racquetball for these guys and for the viewers at home. Don't forget to hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, because we love to hear from our fans, and share with us that you're watching and who you want to see move on to the semifinals. Who would be the ultimate final for you to watch in the 2016 WRT Rocky Mountain Open? You can leave your comments on our Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram, our ball tour.
Can I just request another Montoya Bobby Horn match?
You want to see the rematch of this
I just
tomorrow?
like to, yeah, if they could just do this again later, I'd take that.
Well, if you'd like, you can watch it on our YouTube channel.
Oh, that's just tough. Straight down the line, right on the wall, possible for Bobby to get.
We were talking with some of the local players too about playing on this side glass, and I guess not too long ago they put in a black carpet, and that just adds another level, they said, to the difficulty. And with that Gearbox black ball, it just makes it tough to find.
Well, obviously the sports model didn't consult with Gearbox.
Obviously,
when they chose
or the
that
WRT.
carpet. And they should have been more mindful of this event that was coming.
We'll get these guys to adjust. We'll be right back in just a moment and see what type of adjustments they make in game 3. Don't go anywhere. We're back in game 3 as David Bobby Horn and Rodrigo Montoya are making their way back out to the court after this timeout. On court 2, right next to it, we have our next competitors warming up. Andre Perea and Christian Longoria are getting ready for our second quarterfinal. Okay, we got the players out there. It's funny, Bobby Horn was waiting to come back on the court. He thought we were waiting for Montoya, who was sitting right in front of him, but he didn't see him. So here we go, back into game 3 after that timeout.
So, Laura, what's your prediction here?
Oh, time to put the pressure on.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
You know, I'm going to say David Bobby Horn.
Okay.
Who are you going to take? You going against it with Montoya, or what's your call?
I'll bet you a Slurpee on this.
Okay.
Looked just short. I think it was a good call by the referee. I think that was a... I actually think that's another good call by the ref. If that ball's up 2 inches, I'm going to assume they could get it. Miss by Rodrigo there.
Works in my favor.
Works in your favor.
Slurpee.
We might be taking a trip to 7-Eleven. Free plug. Wow, what a shot.
Nice execution from Horn.
Crowd appreciating that shot.
I think if Horn can keep his focus and keep playing how he was, especially towards the end of game 2, then he can keep the edge over Montoya.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps mixing it up, and it seems like it's been working for him. It's a great Z-serve.
Skipping a wall climb from Horn.
Bobby, I thought he was going to touch the ceiling for a second there.
That was pretty high. Crack
out on the side wall for Rodrigo.
It's going to tie it up now, 4-4.
Kind of amazed at how many of those we've seen in this match, but it shows they're hitting perfect pass shots right into the side wall.
Keeping that ball right down the line.
There's been a lot of short balls, but they're just a hair short. They're really, really close, every one of these.
Switches up that second serve.
Set up for Bobby, and Bobby drilled it.
I feel like anything can happen. The tension is so high.
Well, we've hit about the 1.5 hour mark
Right.
for this match, and great pass by Bobby. Bobby's pumped up.
He's a little slippery out there.
Bobby's pumped up, and so is Laura.
Yeah.
What flavor of Slurpee do you like?
Getting
When's the last time you had a
closer.
Slurpee?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm gonna need a review on what they offer.
Now the Coca-Cola Slurpee. And we need to call 7-Eleven. We're doing a lot of, this is really a lot of free publicity for 7-Eleven.
So now you want to get the Slurpee that you owe me for free. That's what you're saying.
If I can.
Okay, all right. I see how that works. You must be in like sales or some kind of. Well, there's so much more racquetball coming up here today. We have 3 more quarterfinals at the Sports Mall in Murray, Utah.
Another crack out on the sidewall. And that was all set up by a perfect Z serve by Bobby. Oh, great hands by Rodrigo. Got a racket on it and just enough to get to the front wall.
Bobby pointing corner to corner as Montoya makes a move around that back court. Another good strategy, although it's got to be tough.
Looking at
to tire out
4
more.
serve 6 here. That's a good replay. He definitely had a shot at it. And like I said, I would feel nervous calling saying that any one of these guys couldn't get to a ball that's on the floor. Tough miss by Bobby right there. Gives Rodrigo the advantage.
5 serving 6. Nothing's going to come easy in this match.
Why do I just have a feeling we're going to be seeing 10-10 sometime soon?
It's a definite possibility.
Bobby wants a little tally on the warnings. Let's see how many warnings have been given.
Yeah, the ref saying you have 10 seconds.
Hit by Bobby. Another great hit by Bobby. Great pass.
tough rallies in game 3. Both players putting glasses down. We have talked about how it's been a little warm out there. It's game 3. I mean,
It's
these
humid
guys are
on the courts, and
Oh yeah, there's one right there. Good.
it's also a nice break for him to go.
oh, certainly. Let me just get
Sure,
this
they're
wet
both really
spot and
tired.
catch my breath real quick. Well, don't forget, folks, we do have live streaming of the finals tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain Time. We will also be live streaming the doubles final, which is something new in 2016. And Steve, here's something I'm curious if you know. There's a WRT promotion for 2016. All players who are 18 years old and under who play in the WRT Pro Division, singles or doubles, they get 50% off their pro entry. That's something that we've been doing this year to promote getting young, aspiring pros out on the tour and helping them follow their dreams of playing pro. A little bit more affordable for them.
I think that's great. You know, these kids can use all the breaks they can get and support. Rodrigo looks back to say, any question about that one?
It's nice to make sure you're on the same page.
I think we're all in agreement that that was a perfect shot.
Oh my gosh. A jumping backward flying Bobby Horn.
Well, this crowd is getting a real treat.
They are.
I mean, they are really appreciating this level of play. Point for Bobby.
What's your thought on that, Steve?
Well, obviously Rodrigo could have hit the ball. It would have been a very low percentage shot if he'd have tried to, but he had a clear setup. So, and he didn't put it away. So I don't. Nice down the line pass by Rodrigo, and he's back in the box.
It's 5 serving 8.
That's a tough serve.
Wow.
Very, very tough.
6 serves 8.
Rodrigo gets one of those serves to cross the line just when he needs it. Another one.
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
7,
2 aces in a
8s.
row.
Talk about good timing.
Now he switches to a lob serve.
Maybe he thought this was second serve.
Oh, wow. 8-8 now.
Skip for a Horn to tie
I think you're
it
right.
up.
Rodrigo may have thought his serve was short. I think he would be going back to the drive serve.
Yeah, you know, it looks like both of them didn't know that.
I think we're
Bobby
going to have a
didn't
little
know that
problem
was
here.
an ace serve. We're definitely going to have a problem here.
And now it's 7-5. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Oh. They're talking about with the ref what the score was. So, looks
Well,
like
Bobby, they're all confused because I think half of everyone thought the second ace was not an ace.
right.
And I think players on the court both thought it was short.
So Horn's going to take a timeout, which I think is good so that he can understand what's happening and keep his composure. We'll be right back in just a minute. We're back live at the 2016 WRT Rocky Mountain Open, where there was some confusion over those aces and whether that was a second serve. So Bobby Horn called the timeout, which I think was smart for him in order to gain the understanding of what was happening, because that can definitely get into your head mentally if he were to continue playing, and hopefully now he can shake that off and keep focused on the match.
Yeah, and I still don't know what the score is going to be when they get back in there, so we'll see here what they've decided to do.
Our referee is Brandon Gould, doing
He's doing a really
great
great
job of holding it down.
Really is. These aren't easy matches to referee.
He's calling the score as 8-8. That means Rodrigo Montoya had those 2 aces in a row, and then when we saw him switch to that lob serve,
he won that rally too.
Guys in the court didn't know, but that wasn't the second serve, and he won that point.
So Rodrigo has 3 points in a row, and it's 8-8.
And now they have a question about the delay of game.
What's going on?
Are they good? If they're good to play, I just play.
Montoya gets a delay
Montoya
of
has
game.
no idea what's going on.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I'm hoping Bobby can explain it to him, use that minor in Spanish so he got it in school. I think he's confused because he didn't hear the score called. This has been an awkward twist in our game 3. Well, the referee keeping those guys moving.
Well, let's get back to the racquetball. So
All right.
now we need to
Tied up, 8-8.
oh my gosh.
Oh boy, another delay of game because he called the score 10 seconds. He's giving a warning first.
I think we just need to get the ball in play here.
Yeah, somebody serve. Just fire that off. Point for Horn.
Nice return. Rodrigo's going to make sure he's in the box.
Definitely appreciating our referee and his diligence.
Great shot by Bobby off the back wall. Roll out in the corner.
9 serves.
2 bounces.
Point for Horn.
Bobby Horn has his first match point.